I'm tired.
Huh?
I'm tired.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel.
So it's been a while.
And we do apologise.
I don't really have any excuse as to why I've not done a video because I'm not really doing much.
Well, I've been a little bit busy, but it's okay. We back, baby. We back.
So as you can tell from the title, we're going to be talking about the new academic year, and basically we're going to be giving our tips on how to tackle this new year. This year is going to be different with the whole pandemic. There's going to be classes that will be online and it just won't be the same. But we still want to give advice on how to tackle it because you're still going to have to sit exams. So why not just try and do the best you can possibly do?
Yeah.
So let's get straight into this video.
Alright guys, so tip number 1, make sure you go to all your classes and go to all your lectures. If you're a science student, go to all your labs and go to all your seminars. Simply because there's going to be some stuff in lectures that they won't put in the online resources. But we do understand that there are going to be some lecturers out there that are not worth getting up for or going to a 2-hour lecture to listen to them because they literally repeat everything that's on the slide. But there are some exceptionally good lecturers out there, and if you have the opportunity to go, you might as well because you're paying £9,000 if you're a uni student, and if you're in college, you might as well because I don't know.
You might as well because you want to do well. Do you know what I mean? Like,
It's true.
I just want to be me. So,
It's true.
guys, just go to your lectures. So our next tip would be start your revision notes as soon as possible. I feel like a lot of people don't truly understand this and they literally wait until it's exam time to start writing their revision notes. That's where you go wrong. Start your revision notes as soon as possible. And what I used to do was I would go to lecture. Let's say I have 2 lectures on Monday, and I would come back from those lectures and start writing my revision notes. So those will be the notes that I will use when exam time comes. And I think it's much easier that way because it saves time for you. So when exam time does come, at least you know all your notes are already done.
Yeah.
There's no point in you waiting for exam time, and when you should be practicing questions, you're writing your notes. It just doesn't make sense. So start your revision notes as soon as possible and do it as you go along, because if you don't, then I don't know what I just don't know how you're going to pass the exam.
Some people do, but you know what? I think the type of learners that we are, we like things to be organised before it gets that time.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't believe in these sort of things to the very last minute. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you be going to lectures for all those months and when you come back home, you're not even doing notes? What are you doing then when you come back home?
Nothing.
Like, it's just, you're just wasting your time. And yeah, that's just the number 1 tip for me.
Okay guys, the next tip would be when you're revising, make sure you put your phone away, make sure you put all distractions away, because it's much better to revise if you know you're going to revise for a solid 1 hour than to sit in the same place for 6 hours and do 30 minutes work. And I'm speaking from experience. I can get easily distracted, and I feel like, you know, putting your phone on do not disturb or using apps, like there's this app that I use called Hold, and it's basically when you're revising you can put your phone on hold, and the more points you get you can donate towards certain things like mental health. You can buy stuff, cinema tickets. It's not that good, but it helps. Do you know what I mean? So make sure you're not distracted when you're revising because it's just better.
Okay, the next tip I would say, this is just personally what works for me. I don't know whether it will help anyone else, but I just feel like I need to mention this because I see it, what I used to see all the time at uni, and I just shake my head when I see it. Why have your revision notes and only use a black pen?
It's boys. I said it. It's boys.
Colour your work. I feel like not enough people actually know the significance of colouring your work when you're doing these revision notes. It's helped me so many times. Sometimes even when I'm in the exam hall, I look back, like I try and remember what my revision notes look like, and the colours help me to remember what was on that page. Colour your work. Utilise those highlighters. Utilise these colour pens. Don't worry, there's a stationery hall coming very soon.
Even
for you
colour
guys.
paper. Like,
Yeah, colour paper. Try and just make your work look fun. Obviously, I know revision is not fun, but at the end of the day, we got to do it. So why just use a black pen and a piece of paper and just start writing your notes?
And a scruffy piece of paper. That
In it, it's not even like, it's not even neat piece of paper.
Are you not embarrassed?
It's scruffy paper. Like, try and utilize colors. It really does help. And I'm going to put a picture up here now so you can see and just see how all these different colors actually help you in terms of memory, and things like that. So just utilize
The
it.
next tip is to understand what type of learner you are. I think it's really important because you can gauge your revision towards that type of style. So some people are visual learners, some people like to write things down, some people like to listen to audio, some people work independently, some people work in groups. And I think once you realise the type of learning you are, it just makes it easier. So personally, I like loads of colours, I like diagrams, I like working in groups sometimes because obviously I think it's important to bounce off each other, get ideas. But I think, you know, once you understand the type of learner you are, it makes that revision so much more easier and makes it more efficient because you're not wasting your time trying all these different styles that doesn't suit you.
My tip would be to practice past papers. Past papers are there for a reason. It gives you the structure of the exam. It gives you example questions of what could come up in the exam. And some lecturers and even just teachers are so lazy to the point where they don't actually change some of the questions. They could give you the exact same question in the exam, or they could give you a similar question and it will just be like names or numbers that have changed in the question. So always try and practice the papers because they're there for a reason. And literally, personally to me, that's the difference between two grade boundaries. Like, at university, if you don't do past papers, you can end up getting a 2-2 or 2-1 as opposed to either a 2-1 or first. So practice as much as you can, and even after you finish practicing past papers, try and go to your teacher or your lecturer to give you even more questions, because trust me, they help.
I think one thing to remember about practicing past papers is to make sure that the papers you're practicing are in date, because sometimes, well, I don't know, especially for science, things do change a lot, or laws might change, certain things like that. So if you're practicing a past paper that was, I don't know, from 10 years ago, it might not be the same answer you'll get now. So it's really important to make sure that if you're doing practice papers that they're recent, or you know the right answer now, you don't learn the old stuff, the old syllabus. So yeah,
that's actually a good tip. I used to see that a lot. I feel like GCSE times, like they would give you past papers from like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Although
cheeky.
GCSEs never really, the format never really used to change. But just be careful, like Maz said, just make sure that the date is in range and just ensure that, you know, rules and stuff haven't been changed.
So guys, thank you for tuning into our video. These were just a few tips that we had. I'm sure there's like hundreds of tips out there, but we didn't want the video to be too long. Yeah, but for our next video, it's going to be a little bit more exciting, a little bit more upbeat, you know, a little bit different from what we usually do, but it will be nice. We got you guys,
Yeah, just thank you for watching our video, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions of what you'd like to see down below, then please comment. Like, we're all ears to hearing everyone's suggestions. And yeah, like Maz said, our next video is going to be very upbeat, it's going to be very different, and it's going to be fun. And yeah, we're looking forward to it. So we'll see you guys on our next video. Bye guys.
I ain't gonna do this.